Hello and welcome to a video from TPL Vision about our latest product, the modular bar light and the angle changers. Now, at TPL Vision we know that choosing the correct illumination is absolutely critical for your vision system. Choosing the correct illumination ensures that the features and objects on your field of view are uniformly illuminated no matter what the object's position is on the field of view, thus enabling higher read rates. Selecting the correct illumination is often really a challenge. It can be time consuming and it can be a costly process. It involves a lot of loans and repeated evaluations until you find the best solution. This is especially true when there's customers that are far afield. TPL Vision's modular bar is actually a bar that comes in 4 different sizes: 125, 250mm, 375mm, 500mm, and the angle changers are accessories for this product that clip onto the front with a rugged, secure mounting, and they actually allow the user to play around with the output angle of the illumination. So this comes inside in the illumination angles narrow, medium, wide and line. I'll talk through the specs of the combo kit slightly later in the video because there's some other cool features in there as well. The bar itself is a really strong rugged design. It's IP65 and the bar has ultra narrow lenses on it. This is because the angle changers act like sort of like optical diffusers, where they increase the illumination angle from the ultra narrow base angle. Now, all of them are spec'd with the exact same lens angle, so it makes it nice and easy to choose or to pair it with the angle changers. The bar itself has current control embedded, and it has a really easy to use standardized M12 5-pin connector that is standard on production lines. Now, the angle changers are really the enabler for the flexibility side of the product, and the angle changers allow the user to really play around with the illumination angle and play around with different illumination effects to find the ultimate solution for their application. And it's the reason why it's suitable for so many different applications. TPL Vision's goal with the modular bar and the angle changers is to revolutionize the loaning process. With this design, we've created a simple standard product that's available off the shelf with built-in modularity, allowing it to be used in almost all illumination applications. With just a few part numbers, it's actually really easy for distributors to stock the product all over the world and simply integrate into your vision system. It's really a universal solution. The angle changers come in 4 different angle changing configurations. You have the narrow, which is good for adding some diffusion to the ultra narrow base configuration of the bar light, and it's really good for like huge working distances. The medium is good for add some more diffusion. Each one you go up a level, you add some more diffusion, of course, and the medium is good for sort of medium sized fields of view. It's good for if you wanted to create a dome effect by building an enclosure. The wide is good. It can also be used for the dome effect, but it's good for really quite small working distances. It creates the most diffusion out of the 4 different angle changers, and it can be used from about 125mm up to about 500mm, and you still get really intense but really uniform illumination. And then lastly, we have the line angle changer. The line is good for 2 sort of main applications. One is dark field. If you have the line angle changer on, it creates like a narrow beam of light that's in a linear form along the length of the bar. And that's good for creating a sort of blade of light that can shine across and create a dark field effect on your field of view. It's also good for some sort of lower speed line scan applications, because you can create a really uniform line across the field of view, because the line angle changer creates an elliptical beam from each of the LEDs, and this can be good for some line scan applications with a minimum working distance of about 150mm. So the angle changers are the enabler for the modularity side of the product. They allow, as the name says, they allow the user to change the illumination angle from the bar light. They have a really strong design that clips onto the front. It's actually a patented design for TPL Vision, and it allows the angle changer to really securely fit onto the front of the product, and it's actually really strong. It can withstand the strength of 100G acceleration and or a pulling test of 100 times the weight of itself. So the bar and the angle changers together are IP65. When you attach the angle changer to the front of the bar light, you protect the IP65 rating. There's no need to open up the product to achieve the flexibility that you want. And one of the best features about the angle changers is actually the ability to create the curve effect. What is the curve effect? It's actually a patented system by TPL Vision that allows the user to create a curved brightness output along the length of the bar. So, for example, you would have the brightest illumination at the end of the bar, and you would have it dimmed in the center. And what this does is it really reduces the hot spots on your field of view and increases the balance and creates the best balance between brightness and homogeneity. It means that you can actually tailor your setups to perfectly fit the applications in ways that are unique and that weren't possible before. Now, there's a few ways that you can do this. The most popular way is to change the angle in the center of a 375mm bar light. An example of this would be when you have, say you're seeing a hot spot and you have three medium angle changers along the length of the product. What you would do to increase the read rate and reduce your hotspot would be to replace the medium angle changer in the center with a wide one. And now you can see that the end angle changers are not as sort of opaque as the one in the center, and this actually creates good diffusion in the center of the field of view that will reduce the hotspot. Now that's a simple sort of explanation and example of it. It can also be done with the narrows and a wide in the middle, or the narrows and a medium in the middle. You can really play around with it, and you can play around with the different working distances and achieve excellent results by doing this. It can also be used on huge fields of view. Say if you have two bar lights sort of collinear to each other, and you had a curve effect across the length, even with a gap in the middle, this actually helps you achieve a greater curve effect across a massive field of view. It can actually be created on fields of view as big as 2 meters wide, and with working distances of up to 3 meters, actually could be more. The curve effect is really a good solution for all sizes of field of view. So one of the big advantages of the angle changers and the ability to create the curve effect and the ability to change the illumination flexibly for your application is on the latest field of industrial imaging, which is artificial intelligence software. Now, for artificial intelligence applications, it's really important that the lighting is uniform across the field of view to allow the software to work properly. The angle changers and modular bar can be used to create really controlled uniformity of the illumination across this area. The Gaussian curve of the output is really flat and smooth, and this makes it much more easy for the software to compute properly. As I mentioned previously, the angle changers and the modular bar really is a good platform for integrators and distributors globally. One of the good things we have with the angle changers is a combo kit, and this combo kit is dedicated for integrators and distributors to quickly study some feasibility for the applications that they're working on, and they've got stock available at hand if they need to install it on a production line, and they simply just replenish the stock of the case. Now, some of the key things in the case we have is that all the angle changer configurations, so narrow, medium, wide, and line. And then we also have a transparent version. This can assist with creating the curve effect. So maybe if you want the ultra narrow lenses at the ends and then some diffusion in the middle, this can be assisted with the transparent angle changer it's in the angle changer enclosure. And then we also have a blackout angle changer. This means that you can stock a 500mm bar and you can attach the blackout one to the end, and this will reduce the overall length of the bar to 375mm. This means you can theoretically produce the same illumination results as a 375 So if you're doing some feasibility studies, we would just recommend this for feasibility studies, but for feasibility studies, you can reduce the overall size of the bar and then you can purchase exactly what you need and it will actually save you money in the long run. This is the standard angle changers combo kit. We also have a polarized version of all the angle changers and a polarized version of the combo kit as well. So what we have with the modular bar and the angle changers is 4 different bar sizes: 125 millimeters, 250 millimeters, 375 and 500 millimeters. And each of these angle changers fits onto 125 millimeter lengths. So for one 125 millimeter bar, you would use 1 angle changer. For the 500 millimeter bar, it would be 4 angle changers. All 4 bars work the same way. They use a standardized M12 connector with 5 pins. Each pin has a different function. So you have your 24 volts ground, and then you have PNP, NPN strobe triggering, and you have dimming, which is 0 to 10 volts, which equals 100% to 30% of the brightness. Now, when you first apply your trigger signal, the product will actually be on at 2.3 times the continuous working brightness, and this will remain on for 30 milliseconds. And then if you keep the strobe signal on for longer than 30 milliseconds, it will revert down to the continuous working brightness. So it has auto protection integrated and auto strobe mode when you first trigger the light. This is really good for applications when the speed and brightness is critical and the brightness of the product is really intense, even in continuous working. But with the auto strobe feature integrated, it enables it for all sorts of applications. The product itself is based on a really strong, rugged industrial design that can be fit into all sorts of applications. It can be dropped from certain heights, and it can resist impact ratings up to IK07, even on the window. So the modular bar and the angle changers have a new dedicated website. It's called the machinevisionbar.com. On there you'll find lots of resources, demonstration videos on how to use the product, and case studies, including the curve effect techno, where you'll find lots of useful examples of different installations that have been set up, showing you different working distances, different configurations to have the angle changers to really achieve the best balance between brightness and homogeneity. So I hope you enjoyed this introduction to our new products, the modular bar light and the angle changers. For us, we believe it's the perfect tool for all sorts of applications, from pick and place and robotics to logistics, AI and packaging applications. Really, we've trying to show you that with just 4 bar lengths, you can achieve so many different illumination effects, including the curve effect, and achieve different illumination configurations to really increase your read rate and image quality. The reason why we've only stuck with 4 bars is because we believe that with multiple bars and the combination of the angle changers, you can cover so many fields of view, from the smallest working distances up to 4 meters or more, which is really huge and sort of the limit of what we have seen on vision systems. The modular bar and the angle changers is revolutionizing the illumination selection process, and it's exactly what we designed it to do. Thank you for watching.